Hello everybody and welcome. Melissa here at TCT Crafts. So glad to have you guys today on our channel. Today we are going to be doing an extravagant over-the-top pastel Christmas swag design. It is going to be large and I'm going to give a little PSA right now. It's going to be hard to keep the whole thing in camera view. I will do my best to keep whatever we're working on in view, but you will not be able to see the whole swag until we get it up onto the wreath stand, okay? This is going to be a very large design. But I'm super excited about this tutorial, and I can't wait to see how this one turns out. We've got lots of supplies we're using today, so scale up or scale down. I use a lot of product in my designs, but my designs are typically on the higher end because I do use a lot of product. So feel free to substitute or use more or less than what I'm using. This is just how I am designing this piece, okay? Let's go over some of our supplies. We do have a lot of things we're going to be using today. So let's get into what we're going to be using. So I'm going to be using our pink swag base, okay? And then on top of that, I'm going to be using another flocked swag base. You do not want to use two bases. You can just use the pink one and go in with some deco mesh, and that'll help fill it in. I am not using mesh on this design, so I want to make it a little bit fuller, so I'm going to be using another swag base. Okay, so those are the two bases we're going to be using. For greenery, I'm going to be using our beautiful pine greenery. This is one of my new favorites from this year. We're going to be using that. I might go in with our snowy mint bush as filler. I brought in some of our white, I think these are white cedar, glitter cedar sprays. I've got our pink honey locust. Okay, and then let's go into kind of our focal points. So we're going to be using this adorable little Bambi sign or deer sign, our little pink flock Christmas tree. And then I haven't decided yet if we're going to use one or both, but I brought in our ornaments. And then I also brought in our pink jewels. So I'm not sure if we're going to use the ornaments or the jewels or both. We'll see how the design gets going once we get the sign and our big tree in. We'll see what space we have left. And then for ribbon, I'm using our fair silk. I think this is the light blue, and then the pink. So the sign is really, it's more light blue than mint. So I think these two pair really nice together. And then our ornament, this is the mint, but it's actually more of a, it's got a little bit of blue. So I think it kind of matches really nicely. So we're going to tie those colors in. Okay? So let me clear my table and we'll go ahead and we will get started. So let's go ahead and get our bases ready. Now we do have this pink in stock. We got a limited supply of them. So if you guys want them, grab them. We've sold a few already. We just got this one in. This flocked one, I think we might be sold out of. I think they went pretty quick when we got them. So use whatever swag base you have. The pink one is a 30-inch, and I want to say this was a 24-inch. Okay, so we're going to mix these all together here in a second. And intertwine. We want the pink to show through, and we don't want it looking like it's just sitting right on top of it. So let's get this fanned out. We'll get a couple zip ties added, and then we'll mix them up as well. Okay. So I'm going to get a couple. I actually have some pink zip ties. Go figure. Gotta have the pink. So I'm just going to add a couple of these zip ties in. One in the middle, one at the bottom, one at the top. just going around that spine. Okay, let me cut those off. Let me get my different cutters for that. I like these because I can get right next to it. Pull it a little tighter. Okay. Now we're going to start twisting these together and blending these. And pulling some of this pink through. Okay. All right, that's pretty good. I say that as I keep going. Okay, so we've got our base. Let's get our tree and our sign added. So we're going to play with this. My thought was we would have our tree and then we would have our sign. But we may have to eliminate the tree and just go with the sign. I'm not sure yet. Trying to see if we can do both. I thought was the deer would be hanging out by the tree. If we put the tree up there, and then we have our deer sign. You guys can't even see that. And then I'm thinking if we put a big bow right here underneath our tree, our sign can be kind of hanging out down here. So let's do that. So let me look at this tree for a second. I think I want to have it sitting right in here. And we will pin it with some floral pins. But let me get some glue on the back side right now. Okay, and then we're going to get our floral pins. So I'm just getting a couple of these little floral pins. You can get these off Amazon, Hobby Lobby, all the places. And I'm just going to take and just pin that because this tree is styrofoam. So I'm just pinning that to that pine. Let's do one up here. I'm just going to take the back of this, back here in the back of this pine, and push that right into that tree. Okay. Let's do one right on this side over here. And our bow will kind of help hide that right there. And then our little deer will hang down here. So we may not be able to add all the ornaments and jewels. We'll have to pick and choose. Okay, let's get our bow. So I'm going to use 2 different ribbons, so I'm going to break out my bow machine. I can do the hand bows when I'm using 1 ribbon, but when I am using 2 ribbons, I still need the help. So I'm going to do about a 16-inch tail. And then we're going to go to about 7 inches. Actually, let me take this off of here. About 7.5. About 7.5 inches. And twist. I'm going to do that again. And we'll leave our tail. Okay, let's go in with our pink. And on the pink, I'm going to go in about 6 inches. Twist. I'm going to do 2 loops of each, I think. All right. Okay, I'm going to get, I think I'm going to go in with the zip tie and I'm going to wrap a pipe cleaner around it, and I'll show you why in just a second. Because this ribbon is so thick, I want the zip tie. Okay, and then I'm going to go in with a pipe cleaner. Twist it off in the back. And then I'm going to get a floral pick. And we're just going to butt that floral pick right up. Wrap that pipe cleaner around. Wrap this little wire around. Okay. Now I'm going to add some glue on the back of that. And I'm going to let it sit for a second. I'll let it do its thing. And normally we get a piece of moss. Do I have any handy? Yes. I'm just going to take a little bit of moss. Maybe. Try and do this one-handed. And carefully, because we don't want to burn our fingers, I'll wrap that moss around there. Hold that together. Okay. And you can just tie that into here if you wanted. Completely optional. But when you do that, you're going to suck your bow down into your design a little bit more. So I've learned that if you use a pick, you can have a more elevated bow. So I'm going to take this pink tie and twist it around my pick. And then I'm going to add glue. And then we're going to anchor our bow here in a little bit and help pull that in. It's going to be flimsy until we get our greenery and stuff added. Okay. And then our little guy will hang out. I don't want to move this too much, but he's going to hang out somewhere in here. We'll move the tails out of the way in a second, but I want to get that, I want to let that glue dry. Try to see if I want them up here, but I think it's going to be too big to hang out up there. Yeah. Okay, so let's anchor our bow a little bit with just a little bit of greenery before we start getting our sign and moving those tails. So I'm just going to cut this bush up. I'm going to go right north, south, east, and west. Now this one I'm going to cut down a little bit. We'll save the little bits for later. Same thing with this one. I'm going to cut it down a little bit. Save my little bits. We might can actually use this one on this side. Yeah. All right. Our little sign. Let's get a pipe cleaner. And it has a little hanger right back here. So I'm just gonna twist that little pipe cleaner off in there. We're just going to tie this off in the back. And if we need to cut this tail off and move it somewhere else, we can. So these tails up here, I don't think I want. So I'm just going to cut it. Actually, let me get my good fabric scissors. I'm going to cut it right next to that zip tie. Let's do the same with this one. And then we can move them. We can add them with a pick wherever else we want to add them. I'm not sure yet. So we'll just save these pieces for right now. Okay, I'm going to start going a little bit more under our bow. I'm going to take this little piece. And start elevating our bow. I'm going to take a little bit of our snowy mint bush. Shelby. Shh. Sorry, y'all. Somebody came in the door and she had to go bark. Okay, I'm going to lift up. Push that down in there. You're going to see how that's starting to elevate our bow up. And it's giving it the support we want as well. So these are pushers, these little snowy mint bushes. So they're really good for little fillers and when you're trying to add some support there. I'm going to add one more piece of this right next to that, and that'll help cover our little zip tie. So I'm just going to get a tiny piece. I'm actually going to put it on a pick. There we go. Perfect. So let's go back to our snowy mint bush here. Now let's go on this side. Alright, our bow is pretty secure. I think I want to put one more piece sort of in our bow. So right sort of in the center, but then it's sort of like growing in our bow. And we'll do the same right up here. I'm going to go right there. Beautiful. Our little deer is kind of getting hidden. That's the only part I don't like. But, okay, I'm going to cut this tail down just a little bit. We can cut it down more once we're done. So our deer's just kind of peeking. If you guys don't want to add the tree, he could be more of a focal point, but still cute. Just kind of peeking out there. All right. Drop my little tails. Let me grab them. Thinking we may put them, up here, but let's wait till we get a little bit more of the design done. Okay, so now we're going to determine if we're going to do our jewels or our ornaments. We could do an ornament there. I'm just going to play for a second so I can figure out where I want my ornaments. I don't want this, I like the, let me go through what's in my head here. So we've got some pretty good gaps here. So I like that these tuck in nicely right there. It kind of fills in that spot. But I feel like we need something over on this side. I just don't want to leave two ornaments on the left side and nothing over here. So I would need to figure out, could we get a third ornament on this side? Let me play with our gems. I think I like our ornaments better than I do the gems for this design. Yes. Okay, now I brought in 2 pink and 1 of the mint, but I'm wondering if I want to do a mint, and a pink. It's either 2 pinks and a mint or a mint and y'all know what I mean. I think we're going to do, because we have a lot of pink going on, I think I may bring in another one of our mint. Okay, so I'll have to go get that in a second. But let's get this one added. Okay, I'm going to see if this will go through here. Sometimes they'll fit and sometimes they won't. And this one, yes, barely. So I'm just shoving that down in that pine branch. And then I'm going to twist that off. And then we're going to glue and kind of push that down in there. Let me get another glue stick. Alright, I'm just going to give that some pressure and hold that for a second because I'm kind of gluing it up against that tree. So once we get our big stuff added, I'll hang it up and then we can finish it off with our sprays. Okay, same thing. I'm going to take this pink pine branch, if it'll go through here. The other one did, so I'm assuming we can get it. It's a tight squeeze. I'm just going to twist that around there and glue it in really good. And again, I'm gluing that to that tree, so I'm just going to hold this for a second and give it some pressure. Put that one right over here. I'm running that pink pine tie around that. Okay, and I'm gonna hold that for a second. Okay, y'all, we're gonna redo this sign. I didn't like it down there. You couldn't really see it. I want it to be more visible. So we're gonna attempt something. We're gonna play. So I really want this kind of sitting up in here. This is metal, so I cannot just put super glue. Just put hot glue. I need to put some super glue on it as well. So I'm going to add some super glue on here. And some hot glue. And I'm going to try to tuck his little legs and just hold that right there until it dries. And then once we get it dry, I'm going to take a little bit of my floral wire and wrap around his legs and attach it to one of our branches here, just to give it a little extra support other than just this glue that we're putting on here. Okay, so I think it's safe enough for me to let go, I think. And we're just going to take some of my floral wire I'm going to wrap it around his leg, up where the bow is. Carefully. And then I'm going to take and just wrap it around this wire. This pink pine. And then by the time we add the rest of our greenery picks and sprays, we shouldn't see that. I'm going to cut that off just a little bit there. Let me see if there's another spot. I don't think there is, but I think that's on there pretty good. Okay, so we're going to go with that. Now that we don't have I think we can put our other ornament like right up under there, since we don't have our sign there anymore. I think I like that. I'm going to take it off for just a second and get that ornament added. So I'm going to get the tag off. I'm going to glue all the way around so that little metal thing doesn't come off. And then I'm going to push this down where I want it. Now I have glued ornaments like this for several years and never had an issue. Knock on wood. I've even tried to take apart some of my wreaths that didn't sell, where I had glued the ornaments, and they were glued so good I was not able to even salvage the ornament. So I'm very, very generous with my glue, making sure it's touching all the way around with pine and glue. Okay, I'm going to hold that there for a second. Okay, let's start adding pieces of our pine. I'm going to tuck this piece in back there. I want to get another piece right around the top. Okay, let's go on this side. Okay. Now I'm going to cut these pieces down a little bit. I'm going to go back behind our ornament. So I want to make sure we're going all the way around our perimeter here. Let's get a piece at the bottom. Now we can go in probably with a full piece. And go right up there. Okay, so we've got our piece on the bottom. Let's go on the side. I'm going to cut it down. I'm going to go right up there by our ornament. And we'll go right up in there. This piece here, I'm not liking that, so I'm going to fix it. I'm going to cut it off right there, and then tuck that piece right next to it. It's a little better. Let me step back for a second. Okay, I'm going to do the same thing with this piece. I don't like how it's doing something weird there. I'm going to push this piece, maybe a little bit longer piece. Let's see. I'm going to push that right in there. Still think we need couple smaller pieces back there. But they're a little bit more manageable when you get them in smaller sections. You can, I find it's easier to kind of work with. That's better. I think I'm going to let me cut these little pieces up. I'm going to put them on picks. I'm going to get a couple pieces kind of tucked in by our tree. Okay. Let's add one more piece. Right in there. Okay, now let's go in with our light cedar bush. I'm going to cut about 3 of these up. Okay, so I have cut up 3 of these. We'll start with that. We're going to start tucking these in there. I'm just pushing them down in there. I don't want them out there having its own, own party. We want them nice and blended. I love these little sprays. We have them in stock as of this video, but they were running low on stock. I think we were about a couple dozen, maybe left, maybe 2 dozen. Not exactly sure, but grab them if you want them, is all I gotta say. Because Christmas supplies are fixing to start going like crazy. Okay, and I'm just kind of giving these a bend down just a little bit so that when I push it in, it's kind of going down. And this is like I mentioned in the beginning, it's a large design, so you may miss a little bit of the bottom, but we're doing the exact same thing, just all the way around. So when we're done, I'll hold it up. And of course, I will take a picture, so check the end of the video. If you guys are new to my channel, always at the end, I try to put a picture of the finished product, so you guys can see what it looks like. So check the very end of the tutorial and there should be a finished photo. Try to do either a finished photo or a finished little video. Usually it's a photo. Okay, so I've gone all the way around. I'm going to do the exact same thing on this side. I'll probably speed the video up, but just know I'm doing the exact same thing. Okay, I've done it all the way around. I've got just a couple pieces left. So I'm going to go with this one more towards the center. We'll go on this side and go right in there as well. If I need to cut up another one, I definitely will. I want it to be balanced nicely. I'm almost wondering if we need a piece here and here. Let me step back. Okay, we'll wait for just a second because we have our pink glitter sprays to add, and so we may not need any more by the time we get done adding these. So I'm going to cut up 4 of these. Okay, so I have all of those cut up. Let's get them added. Now I will show you what I usually do is I'll pull off these bottom 2 little leaves to give me a little bit more of a stick. If you don't want to pull it off, you can put them on a pick. So now we're going to just start kind of the same process we did with the white ones. We're going to go all the way around, and then I'll tuck in towards the center. We have some left. Let's do a couple more, and then I will speed this up so you don't have to watch me do the same thing, but I am just going all the way around just like we did with the white ones. We're going to go all the way around, and then I'll tuck in a few in the center, and I'll come back for that part, okay? Okay, so we've gone all the way around. Let's take a couple pieces and get more towards the center of our design. Oh, I don't like that one there. Okay, all these pink ones are not my favorite. I'm just going to be completely honest with you. They're beautiful, but all the manufacturer does is they just glitter them. And there is parts of the, let me show you. I don't know if you guys can see, but there's parts of the pick that some of the glitter comes off. So I tried to save the ones that had more of, like this one I'm going to pull off because I want the stem. So I tried to save the ones that had more of the glitter off for places that I can tuck in where you don't really see, like where it's going to get hidden. Not even show you where it's like getting hidden by the greenery. So I was kind of more strategic of which pieces I use because I don't want some of that showing. It is what it is. I mean, it doesn't matter what glitter sprays you get. Some of the glitter doesn't always stay on. I think I'm going to tuck one in there like that. I still will use them. I'm just going to be careful as to which pieces go where. I may want one piece kind of underneath that loop. There. let me step back. It's looking pretty good. Okay. I'll save these last two pieces for when I go take a picture. Because I usually always will see a spot once I take a picture, I'll look at the picture and then I can see. Now, the last thing we're going to do is our little snowy mint bush, because I don't want, we just have it around the bow. I don't want it to be the only place that we have it, and then like we forgot about the rest of the wreath or the rest of the swag. So we're going to add a few pieces of this around the swag just to tie it all together, so that it wasn't just hanging out with a bow. We've got it in other places. So I'm just going to kind of tuck it here and there in a couple places, just to bring that together. See about putting a piece right in here. Yep. Maybe on that side. I'm gonna go right up under that wall. Or that ornament. I think I want a piece right in the center of this bow. I can get it in there. Now this part is, again, it's completely optional. I'm going to get one more bush. This is the part you can scale up, scale down. You don't have to have this. It looks pretty. Without it, I just want it for my design. I like very full designs. So. With this walking, y'all, I feel like I'm going to cough any second, so y'all bear with me. That piece right there. We'll do one on this side. Let me get a big water, y'all. Hang on just a second. Sorry about that. This blocking. Whew. I love the Christmas designs, and I love working with the flat greenery, but it is messy, and you're going to breathe that stuff, and it's just whew, not good. I'm going to go right next to our little ornament there. Let's maybe put one by our little tree there. step back. I got like one piece left. I think right here. We need something right there. So now we have our little tails that we cut off. And I think I'm going to add them right here. So I'm just going to take them and I'm just going to pinch them together. And I'm going to put them on a pick using my pick machine. But you can take a little wooden pick and just wrap that around, glue it, put a little bit of moss on there, and you could use a wooden pick as well. Okay? I'm just going to use my pick machine. Okay, now I'm going to get them added over here. Before I mess with them too much, I'm going to let that glue dry. Okay, so I'm going to let them hang out, let the glue dry. If you wanted to, we could even maybe add, let me see. What did I do with my ribbon? Maybe right in here and do a tail down. So that you cut it on that side and on this side. Let me just cut a piece and see if I like it. See if I can get it to stay there for a second where I can go look at it. Okay, I think I like it, so let's do it. Want those tails, or these tails coming off the side. So I'm going to do the same thing. I'm just going to pick them. Right, I'm not going to mess with them until they dry. And then I'm just going to curl the ends under. What am I looking for? My glue gun. I'm just going to curl the ends under and just give them a fluff. But I want them to dry really good before I mess with them. Just going to kind of push them up against that ornament. Let me see if I want anything at the top. What do y'all think? Put a tail up here. Why not? I know this was a long tutorial, but this is a very large design. So feel free to, which you probably already have because this is the end of the video, but always feel free to fast forward the parts that you don't need to see. Okay, I'm gonna just roll these under. Okay, y'all, here is our finished pastel, move back a little bit, our pastel Easter swag design with the pink and the blue or the mint, whatever you want to call it. I think it turned out beautifully. I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial. If you're new here, thank you guys so much for watching, and we would love to have you subscribe to our channel. Hit that little notification bell. You'll be notified every time we have a new tutorial. We love to do all things seasonal home decor, swags, wreaths, centerpieces, tablescapes, all the things. So we would love to have you come back and watch some more of our videos. Until next time, bye y'all.